Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Health and Wellness. Tonight's program, we're going to talk about prostate, the benign prostate hyperplasia, the hypertrophy, and the prostatitis. The prostatitis is actually inflammation in the prostate. The benign hyperplasia is actually the overgrowth of cells in the prostate, and the hypertrophy is actually the enlargement. Now, if you are a man over the age of 50 who are not sleeping well, chances are good it's because you've got prostate problems that require visits to the bathroom a couple of times a night. It estimated that benign prostate disease affects over 40% of American men by the age of 50 and over 70% by the age of 60. The most common symptoms is trouble with urination. Such men may have increased urination frequency, hence getting up at night. The urine flow may be decreased in force or rate. They may have urinary urgency, and they may feel that they haven't emptied the bladder, a sign of urinary retention, especially after drinking coffee. Caffeine is one of the things that it's said that makes the condition worse. Also, the urinary retention also makes them more susceptible to urinary tract infections, which it is said that prostate is actually a condition that it is a low grade of infection. So those are the different ways that we address the condition. When such men consult with their doctors, he will usually examine the prostate gland through the rectum, a digital exam, and a diagnose that the problem as BPH, an acronym meaning benign prostate hypertrophy, enlarged cells in the prostate gland, or hyperplasia, enlarged by increase in the number of cells in the gland. Now, the meaning of that is that depending on what it is that you have been diagnosed, the condition is that it's all basically the same thing. It's a hormonal imbalance, maybe brought on by taking drugs, it's in our diet. It's in our foods and our meats. It's in the soy products. It's in diet colas, the sweeteners. It's in energy drinks. It's also intolerances to our foods. Males have actually looked at programs on television. They can't sleep, and so they stay up, and they're watching these programs that are actually geared exactly for them. And so they order it and take it, and only to find themselves in a worse place, because the young folks, the young men are the ones that are taking it, and also they're actually drinking when they use these drugs. So it's putting them in a worse spot. Steroids, hormones and steroids, not only are we taking them, but also it's in our food, it's in our meat. There's antibiotics in our meat as well. Soy is actually a big one, and I would venture to say that it's in our protein drinks. It's hidden in the label all the way, either the first in a small print, or it's in the middle, or it's probably in the second listing. However, the soy shrinks the male genital. So that is one. Steroids will do the same thing. And it actually stresses, and so that is the reason why men at an age about 46 to 50 on end up having this prostate problem. We're going to talk about our foods, what causes all this condition. The trans fatty acids, it's one. We have been told in the market that butter is not good, that our margarines are better. That is trans fatty acids. Now they're saying not so good. Now we're back to eating butter. The idea is natural is better. All these synthetics, all these substitutes are not good. We should have olive oil instead of all these trans fats. We end up, the cod liver is good, the olive oil is good. We also don't consume sulfur-based foods. Broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage. Also, there is fermented cabbage, there's kimchi, there's kefir, yogurt, there's also kombucha drink. These are all things that have probiotics in them, which are very good for us. And stress is an indicator, increases cortisol in the system. So those are causes. We also have to look at the fact that when the hormones are in balance, it affects other things as well. And that is the deficiency in zinc, and also the lack of, we talked about the trans fatty acids, the lack of essential 3 fatty acids, the excessive exposure to toxins. Now, males, as a rule, their jobs are either they're mechanics, aircraft, or they're auto mechanics. Those are toxins, chemicals in the air. They're breathing that all day long, from paint to chemicals in demolishing a house, let's say, and rebuilding, all the chemicals that are used. They're smelling, they're breathing this in constantly. And so that's exposure. Not enough sunlight for the vitamin D deficiency. Thyroid is a big one as well. It's an indicator with the hormone imbalance. The other focus is that the body is very acidic. And when the body's very acidic, it's one of the things, it's the very first thing that we look at. And needless to say that when our diet is wrong and we implement all these other things that are not good for us, men become estrogen dominant. And that's where you see an older man that is growing breast, and that is estrogen dominance. Also, the testosterone deficiency. Hormones are that when a man has prostate issues, their testosterone levels are low. Progesterone is also low. And then estrogen is high, because once the other two are low, estrogen is just going crazy. Zinc is a deficiency as well, and it's got to be implemented. Insufficient nighttime sleep, melatonin. And all because you're not sleeping all the way through, you are tired, you're not rebuilding, the body's being torn pretty much, tearing down, and of course, and that creates estrogen dominance. Now, the foods that we consume are the ones that I just spoke about, and clean diet. Alcohol, drugs, steroids, the medication, the antidepressants also cause issues in breast enlargement in boys, in young boys. And it has been televised already of the effects of this. So parents should be aware of that, so that they don't have their boys taking these antidepressants. And if so, watch that those aren't the ones that they're consuming. Also, tonight we're going to talk about now, these are all the different things that causes the prostate. And we're going to talk about some of the products that you can take. And I'm sure that there are the botanical products that I'm going to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot of men that are taking them presently. And it is a good idea that if you are having those problems, to be able to, it's good to initiate and taking something and not letting this get any worse. Supplemento is one of them. We have a product that's called Prostate, and this is actually a prostate supplement that has all the different herbs that I'm talking about now. In non-drug treatments for this condition is supplemento, and also that works on the prostate for edema, the swelling. It inhibits the 5-alpha reductase, and it blocks it, and that is the enzyme that is caused from lack of the hormones being in balance. The nettle root inhibits the conversion of the androgen to estrogen. There's an antioxidant, which is E and vitamin C, that is found in tomatoes and also in vitamin C. Polyphenols that are found in green tea, and also the omega fatty acid that is found in nuts and raspberry. Also zinc is present in this formula, and that is the prostate formula. The other things that we need to focus on is the progesterone cream is one of the products that is applied on the neck, and that is the progesterone cream. Now, a lot of times men will look at this and they will go, oh, that's for a woman, that's not for men. And men are comprised of the testosterone, progesterone, and less of the estrogen. So when the testosterone levels drop, we end up, the estrogen levels go up, and the progesterone is less. That is the precursor, and that is what balances the other two. However, when you take the progesterone cream, what it does is it balances the other two so that you're not so much estrogen dominant. That is the cream that's applied on the neck. It's only half a pump that's addressed on the neck and face, done in the morning, done at night, and it's done always. It's not like for women where they do it part of the month and they're off 5. Men do it every day. They're taking less of it, and so because of it, they use it up and balance. This is a very good one. It'll last for 2 or 3 months by doing only half a pump. That is the progesterone that actually balances. It's really important. It's one of the things that will balance the other two. Now, the flax hull lignans, this is actually a complete food. It's actually flax hull lignans, which are the omega fats from plant. And what it is when you take it, it actually addresses in balancing hormones. So when you take it in the morning, what happens is if the body needs testosterone, it'll make it from the plant-derived omega fats. If you need progesterone, it'll make it. And then, of course, by doing that, it'll balance so it lessens the amount of estrogen. The other thing that it does is it lowers the cholesterol. It actually balances the blood sugar, and it's the good omega fats that the body will use for brain, for skin, for hair, for nails, for any, to help you stay regular. Across the board, it's a balancing omega fats, and omega fats is one of the things that's needed, like the cod liver and also the vitamin, the fish oil and the olive oil. So this is another form of omega fats. This is really important. This together with this is very important due to the fact that this will be used immediately upon using in the morning and at night, helping you to sleep, but also in the morning helping you to calm down and also feel better. The lignans, what they do is they work throughout the course of the day in breaking down the omega fats and delivering it throughout the course of the day to whatever it is that you need. So if you need more testosterone, it'll make that. If you need more progesterone, which is this, it will make additional. This is a must. These two things truly work good together. Now, and that also balances the hormones, so that's really important on those two. We also have the Isall, and the Isall is actually thyroid. When hormonally imbalance happens and a condition is surfaced, then what we need is to first target at addressing and giving the thyroid what it needs. And Isall, all you do is you take 2 ounces of water, you put 3 drops of the Isall, and you stir it, and you take a tablespoon of that mixture in the morning, afternoon, and dinner. This actually gives you energy. It actually feeds the body. It actually helps across the board for sleep, for energy. It works on just about all areas for sleep. A lot of times when we are deficient in thyroid, we don't have energy, we don't have motivation, our weight goes up, and so a lot of times this is an answer for a lot of different conditions. Water retention is due to the same condition, thyroid, and also mood swings, also sleep. When you exercise, you can exercise longer because it'll give you energy, and when you sleep, you'll sleep well. It gets rid of excessive water. It helps with hormonal imbalance. These are one of the things that all go together. They're the answer. It's like the puzzle pieces that are missing. In incorporating these things, it will bring you to a better balance. The other thing too is that the Isall drops will last you for a long time, because as that is used up, you fill it up again, you put 3 drops again, stir it, and you start all over again. And you keep doing this. This also for folks that have, for men that have blood sugar issues like diabetes and hypoglycemic. Sugar has a big one, a big one to do with that too. It's a sugar that actually damages the whole program. These are all things that actually target in making things matters worse. Sugar is a big one. Now, when we talk about acidity, we tend to think, I oftentimes when people come in, the very first thing that I usually put them on is to cleanse, and not only to cleanse body-wise on the exterior, but also internal. And how we do that, the body is acidic and we need to cleanse it, and how we do that is by drinking pure water. And by doing that, what we do is we do the neutralizer water. What we do is we put 10 drops of this in every glass of water you drink a day, and that is going to help you to detoxify, to eliminate a lot of the acid, because what's going on with prostate enlargement is actually the acidity that's going on in the body feeding the very condition. By putting 10 drops of this neutralizer, it will neutralize the acid buildup that's there on a day-to-day basis, but also morning, afternoon, and dinner, and before bedtime. Also, this is also the very water that we use in order to make a bath. And sit baths are really important because you are working with a very toxic body, and this is a way of detoxifying through the skin. When you bathe, what you do is you soak, you take 1 cap of this to 2 caps of the neutralizer water, and you put it in the bath and you sit. You soak for like 15, 20 to 30 minutes. that will help you to detoxify through skin, so that we're actually working in ridding of the very acid that's trapped in the layers of the skin, causing you to be at the place that you're at. The other thing that you do is you actually, by soaking, you eliminate the swellingness that is happening in the prostate, but also you end up absorbing 2 quarts of that water and ridding of that very same acidity, that same amount. So the idea is that the baths are really important, and I venture to say that everyone that has done this will call and always say that they feel so much, like 100% so much better in doing the sit baths. They're very important, and depending on where you're at in the prostate enlargement, that tends to work in doing so. Now, the gel is actually a product that we suggest that you apply. So if you're getting up many times a night, for every time that you get up to go, you need to use the gel on the prostate area. So that makes the frequency of having to get up each and every time become less. The idea is that the neutralizer neutralizes the acid occurring at that particular time. So the more you put neutralizer on, the next time you will have it so that it's less and less. It'll be far between the getting up. You know, there was a gentleman that actually came in and bought a bottle for his friend that was in the hospital, and he said that he was getting up like 16 times a night, and clearly he wasn't sleeping. So he ended up getting him a bottle, and he had him use it, and he said that he ended up thanking him for it because it made the visits less and less. Within time, it just went from 16 to maybe like 10 to 8 to 7, and then all the way down to 2 to 3 visits a night. So this is what the gel does. Also, the gel is actually applied on the body all over. It actually is used for many things. But however, that is one of the things that we use in the prostate, recommending the use of, for every time that you visit the bathroom, use the gel on the prostate area, making the visits less and less. The baths are truly important. They are the ones that rid more and more of the very acidity that the body is holding, so that when you apply the gel, it's like working with less of it. So that's the gel. We also have zinc. Zinc is actually a mineral that we talked about already, and zinc is actually one of the minerals that is needed, and zinc is usually used for men for energy, but also to work in the system to minimize the very, it's one of the minerals that is really deficient when you're looking at the prostate. So zinc, outside of more of the other supplements, the zinc is really important. It's actually used, it's for energy in processing all the different supplements, but zinc is really important for prostate. Also, we have an herb that's called JPX, and JPX is actually, when somebody has prostate issues, they're totally focused on kidney bladder. They want to strengthen the kidney bladder, and so we do have an herb that focuses extremely on that, and it strengthens the kidney and the bladder function. And so we have it in a form, a lot of times people, men don't seem to think that it's prostate issue. They just think it's that their kidneys and their bladder's weak. And so they start by taking something as simple as JPX. We got this available, and this has a lot of different, it has a Don Quay, juniper, parsley, uva usually, it's got ginger, marshmallow, it's got golden seal root, and Those are all the different herbs for kidney bladder. And so for anybody that wants to start at something as small as or as just the one item, this is actually a good one, the JPX. Also, we have the other things that we have is inflammation, and how we focus on reducing the inflammation on the prostate is by using an essential oil. And you know, we have talked about essential oils in the past, but we don't really understand how quickly the benefits are achieved when we do essential oils. And unlike taking a medication and finding out that we have to wait so long in getting the benefits, 15-20 minutes, essential oils work in delivery very quick. Now, we have one oil that we suggest for people to use, and that is for inflammatory disorder, and that is where you put the essential oil peppermint on the Vitaflex point on the top of the foot, on the outer top of the foot. So your foot, it would be on this portion of your feet, and that is where the prostate Vitaflex points would be. And so you address it in putting the peppermint oil there, and by doing that, it actually reduces the inflammation in the prostate indirectly by Vitaflex point. You can also, the peppermint, you can also breathe it, put it in your hand and breathe it, inhale it. You can also put it on your wrist. You can actually put it on your nose. You can actually put peppermint in water and drink it, and it will neutralize acid in the stomach and in the system, creating more of an alkaline state. And so peppermint, it's also good as an antidepressant, which actually if low energy, if you have not feeling up to par and depressed, the peppermint will actually change as to how you feel and think, and it's actually better than drinking coffee. Also, the coffee, I was going to say that coffee is not that it's bad, it's more that the coffee is the caffeine that creates the instability in the prostate, and then taking it late at night, it doesn't allow you to sleep, and then a lot of times what happens is it affects the urinary too. It actually affects where you can't go. The other thing I was going to say too, that the low-grade infection on prostate is real, and oftentimes we tell people that's where the garlic comes in. We have a formulation that's called the healing tonic, and we've talked about it in the past, and the healing tonic is actually a formula that's made on the phases of the moon, and it is comprised of garlic, onions, vinegar, unsulfured vinegar. It's got cayenne pepper. It's got a lot of sulfur ingredients, and that is what's needed on the prostate. You need all those sulfur foods in order to reduce the inflammation and also the bacteria and the infection, because it's actually that formula. It is said that it's like a Russian penicillin, and it's an alternative to the antibiotics. So for anyone that's taking antibiotics on ongoing, realizing that that's so wrong, that it causes more acidity, it causes more candida growth, it actually creates more of an imbalance in the system. By taking the healing tonic, it betters that. It reduces the candida, all the fungal, all the viral, all the infection, but it does it in a natural way. So doing that on a salad, doing that on meat, doing that on a little cup of soup, or maybe doing it in scrambled eggs, or that is presenting, or you can also take it in mouth and just allowing it to stay in your mouth for a little bit and then swallowing it. It actually kills all bacteria straight through, and also in mouth. The so that is kind of addressing the infection that's actually due to the urinary, retaining the urine. So also we have another oil that's called Endoflex, and Endoflex is a blend of essential oils that actually creates, it amplifies the metabolism and vitality and creates hormonal balance. There are 7 oils in this Endoflex, all of which strengthen, and the way you apply this, it's similar. You inhale. You can also apply it on the lower back. You can apply it on the thyroid. You can apply it on the kidney, liver, feet glandular areas, and through the feet Vitaflex points. And but it addresses all those organs. It actually benefits all. The whole idea is that essential oils, they are as good or not better than anything else that you might do. Sometimes people just take something as small as just the essential oils and they get benefits. So the idea is that Endoflex is one that will amplify the metabolism, vitality, and creates hormonal balance. That is what we're trying to do today. There's also an oil. These oils, this one here, you can diffuse also in your diffuser, and you can also put it in your bath water. So as you're soaking and doing sit baths, you can put the Endoflex 1 to 4 drops in your bath water, and you can also diffuse it. Now the Mister is actually another oil, and the Mister is actually, it helps to decongest the prostate and promotes greater male hormone balance. Now, what if I was to tell you that the very things that you're doing, like maybe a testosterone shot, or maybe you're doing drugs in order to increase testosterone, or maybe a cream, it is said now that people are having problems with that cream. The oil is natural, it's from plant, it's plant derived, and it will benefit, but it won't have any side effects. And it will not be the same way as the cream that you're presently probably using. Now, it is said that the Mister has yarrow, sage, myrtle, fennel, lavender, and peppermint. It's got sesame seed oil in balancing it out. It says you can diffuse it, you can inhale it in your hand, you can put it in your bath water, you can apply it to your ankle, Vitaflex points, you can put it on your lower pelvis or areas of concern. You can also use a heat compress on it. And we do have the paper form that we give you when you purchase it. So Mister is actually one that's very conducive for the prostate problems, the inflammation. So that's another oil. So we talked about the peppermint, we talked about the Endoflex, we talked about the Mister. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about return to youth. Now we talked about, in the past, we have actually talked about the essential the herbs, and return to youth was one that I did talk about, and it is one that it's famous in rejuvenation. It is the greatest of all classic tonic formulations, and it's a particular, and is in particular a superb gin tonic. It says that it influences primarily the kidney function, both the yin and yang. It is also considered to be particularly beneficial to the heart, liver, spleen. Also, return to youth formula, it is an excellent blood tonic. It is used to strengthen the whole body. Many people use it as a powerful brain tonic. It is also highly regarded as a long-term sexual tonic for both men and women. Return to youth is considered, return to youth formula is said to strengthen the legs and the back. It is considered to be the rejuvenation formula by the Chinese. Return to youth formula is one of the few powerful vegetarian yang-yin tonics in the supertonic class of Chinese herbalism and forms a foundation of a number of other major Jing formulations. You know, it is said that return to youth it's actually used as an immune herb. It's, your immune system has been compromised, and there's trauma that has happened, and you're unsettled, you're worried, and all those things manifest. And so the immune system, it's like you're not thinking clear. And so the return to youth helps in strengthening the full body. The immune system is what you need to focus on, and that is in your food. It's also in what you're drinking. You know, a lot of people today use wine, and, you know, they always have this saying where they say, well, I usually have a glass of wine because I can't sleep, or I drink a glass of wine because when I get home, I just need a drink to mellow me out. Well, you know what? And that's where this happy hour is always said. When people leave work, they go to happy hour on Friday nights. Well, you know, a lot of times those things are the very things that put you where you are today. And so we need to somehow build up the immune system to be able to help you through the condition that you're presently at right now. The other thing that we have is Shu Wu formulation. And Shu Wu is kind of in that same order. It is said that it's a yin tonic. When you have an inflammation, your body's working on high acidity. Your body, in Chinese medicine, it is called, you're working on hot yang, and that is Jang. Now, when you start doing a formula, you need yin in order to offset that, because you're low on one. So the yin is actually your cooling agent. Now, so this is what this formula is. The Shu Wu formulation also works on the immune system. It is actually, it is said that it's a yin tonic designed to nourish kidney yin and to enrich the blood. It is said that it is the polygona. This product has the effect of improving adaptability, enhancing sexual and mental energy, strengthening the back and knees, strengthening hair growth, fortifying the senses, building blood and production of sperm in men, and increasing fertility in women. So whatever it is for men and women, it actually helps in the immune system. It also helps in the body in building it and strengthening it. So of all the formulations, I thought that these two are the most potent, and the ones that in taking it, you understand exactly the recovery is quicker. So those are the two formulations in the herbs and the essential oils. And also, I wanted to say that in the food groups, there is this product that's called, it's fermented cabbage. It's called kimchi. Yeah, it's called kimchi, and what it is, it's got hot items in there like Cayenne Pepper and some other seafood seasoning, and they ferment it. They ferment the Chinese cabbage, and something that you can actually make yourselves, but it's easy, just bought. And it's in your refrigerator section in your store. And what you do is you just take a little piece of it and you consume it whenever. If you have a salad, you consume a little bit of it. If you're having meat and maybe, you know, steak, you can have some of it. In incorporating, not only does it affect in killing the bacteria that you're housing that is causing that condition, it actually it helps in killing candida and parasites. Those foods tend to create more of the probiotics that you're missing in your diet. Now that's one food group. The other one is kombucha, and kombucha is actually a drink that is it's a fermented product that you end up drinking, and you don't have to drink the whole bottle. They come in a 16-ounce bottle, and but you don't have to drink a full dose amount. You can have some in the morning, you can have some in the afternoon, and some in the evening. I will tell you that it will be an alternative to maybe a soft drink. It actually it satisfies your thirst. And it's actually, it doesn't taste bad. It tastes pretty good. And so it's actually a good it's a good probiotics to do instead of doing soft drinks. And you know, all the sugars, the synthetic sugars, are causing our system to it's like our whole stomach is being affected. Almost everyone is having the very same things. Kombucha as a drink, kimchi as a fermented cabbage. You can have kefir as a yogurt in a drink. You can also, and you don't have to have a lot. You can have like maybe 2 to 3 or 4 ounces of kefir. It's liquid yogurt. You can also have yogurt that has probiotics in it. And we also have a digestive health product, and that has all the culture bacteria in it that really, you know, I always input the very couple of things that really are the fundamentals of healing, and that is our Miracle 2 products because of what they're used for, and also the digestive health, because that is what balances a lot of what is going on in our system. And also, I'm going to talk a little bit about one thing that that I'm hearing a lot of. Blood sugar is really, the hypoglycemic individuals are having really a lot of problems. I have a lot of folks that are coming in as of lately that are experiencing where they're going to the hospital and they're having all these tests done because they feel dizzy, they don't feel right, their eyes are not working good, they have like, they're feeling like not steady on their feet, they just clearly don't feel good. And I've had so many people come in with these tests that they went in and had done, and only to find out that nothing was wrong with them. And kid you not, is blood sugar. Know what we're doing. Make sure that you're consuming the good omega fats that balance your blood sugar, that the proteins that you're consuming are not soy based. I will tell you that the soy base is causing our male, our children, our boys especially, for their genitals to be shrunk. They're shrinking, and it's all the soy is causing our males to, for that to happen, and also they're causing enlargement in breast in males, all due to the soy. Look at your ingredients in everything that you buy. I bet you anything that if you look in your cupboards today and you find out what's in your refrigerator and you just look at your labels, you will find that soy is in there. You need to talk to your manager at the grocery store and let them know, you know, what it is that you're concerned about. They will make changes. They're making changes as we speak. In fact, the GMO is nobody's buying the foods if it's not posted on there natural. It's not if it's not GMO free. People aren't buying it. Your grocery person will make changes, and they will buy the very products that you want. Otherwise, they're going to go out of business. So the idea is know who you buy from, know the ingredients that are in your products, make sure that your meat is that it doesn't have the steroids, that it doesn't have the antibiotics, that it's natural. The chicken, make sure that your eggs are organic. All these things count. When you start looking at what you're consuming on a day-to-day basis, you will understand by just changing a few things, you will see how much better you will feel. I had a gentleman that came in. I wanted to say that he came in and I sent him home with Pure Lean and also Digestive Health, and sent him home with some other things. But I had told him that emphatically that what he was housing was toxins in his lymph. And you know what? And his kidneys were, he said he was going to have surgery on his kidneys. And I will tell you that he came in and he realized, he said, I couldn't believe, just like you said, the lymph drainage happened. And it's like I got rid of all this excessive weight that I had on my sides, and that was causing all this toxic waste that I was carrying. So that is how quickly these products can work. And also understanding exactly what it is that they're doing, you embrace it more. A lot of people, men in particular, don't understand, don't know the soy, the damage effect that the soy is doing to them. It actually causes where it coats your lungs. A lot of people that have allergies, that have lung issues, that are coughing continuously, that their feet are all coated white, that they have a lot of callus around their heel, those folks are probably doing soy, and only to find out that the minute that you give it up, you clear up of all that. Allergies, rosacea, candida, all those things, soy feeds it, makes it worse. So, soy is a big one. Artificial sugars, just sugars and wheat, crackers, cookies, all those packaged foods, canola oil, microwave ovens. Microwave ovens are deadly. In fact, I would say that I don't know of anyone today that has one, but if you do have one and you're experiencing prostate issues, realize that the microwave, eliminate it, get it out of the house, don't use it. It's one of the things that makes your food, it demagnetizes it, it depolarizes it. It actually causes colon cancer. It kills brain cells. It actually alters your hormones. It causes dementia. It causes Alzheimer's. It actually works on eyes. And you know, it's funny because a lot of times I say, and it doesn't matter, because most people say, well, you know, I only heat my water in there, or I only heat my coffee or tea. But you know, water, if you heat water in the microwave, it demagnetizes, and it actually alters that water so that when you drink it, it actually, anything that you consume after that point on that day, it alters all that. So it's like you don't have no nutrient on anything that you've consumed. But the other thing is, like, if you buy something that it's already cooked, processed in the microwave, what happens is and you consume it, you go home and you microwave it again, you're cooking it twice. So you get nothing out of that. For as much as we consume a day, we are malnourished, and it's all due to the way that we're cooking our food. And so, but if you were to consume a meal that you cooked over the stove top on your burner or in your oven, you will find out the difference in the taste, and you will find out how satisfied you will be with whatever you consume, as opposed to a couple of minutes later going back to the kitchen, opening the fridge because you're hungry again. The other thing that happens as well is that the packaged foods that are done with canola, so anything that is in a package that says canola on it or trans fats, know that that's as bad for us. But I will say that the more and more you gauge into going and doing the right things, you will find that all the conditions that you have today will slowly but surely get better and disappear. And we work with a lot of different people, and I know that a lot of the programs that we have aired, it's a lot of information. And I know because there's a lot of people that come in and I start to walk them through different things, and their eyes get really big, and they're like in a daze because it is a lot of information. But this is serious information for people that are serious in healing what it is that they're working with, at the stage that they're in life. And so it's never too late. You can actually start by doing one thing only, one thing at a time. And it's kind of, I hear a lot when people say that, I've been watching your show, I have learned so much, I have done so many changes, I feel so much better. It's like I know a little bit more, I know what to do, I feel in control. And you know, and that's what we want. We want to be able to, the programs are geared for people to learn a little bit each time, to address something each time, and to continue to know what to do, to when they're in the store, they know what to get, they know what not to do, incorporating a little bit of a physical activity. You know, a lot of times I fear that the youth today, they are so used to, whenever they feel something, take a pill, or if they're energy-wise, they take an energy drink. But they don't understand, and they don't go to the principle of saying, okay, if I have this, maybe I'm smoking, or maybe I'm not taking supplements, or maybe I'm eating too much junk food, or maybe I'm gaining weight and I'm not really addressing it. And so what happens? They take the shortcut and they end up taking a diet pill, and they don't understand that they're taking a diet pill, increasing the body as to how it works, but they don't understand that that height as to where they're working with the diet pill, when they don't take it anymore, they'll go down to an extreme low. And what's going to happen then is they're going to need that supplement of the diet pill just to be normal. And so that is when the weight starts to mount and they have no control. And so the idea is you can take supplements to help you. And you know, the whole idea is in this program is not to, if you're going through treatment on the prostate, you continue to do that. You continue to visit the doctor and have him test to see exactly where you're at. But however, the importance is that you can start by doing these things, or one or two of these things, and incorporating and introducing it to see how it is by doing this, how it helps the other. Because when you do the baths and you start reducing the inflammation, reducing the acidity level, you actually create more of a clean slate, so that whatever it is that the doctors are doing, it's going to be better delivered. And whatever it is that you consume here, as far as the progesterone, or maybe the flax lignans, or maybe the Isall thyroid, or the zinc, or the prostate, or the herbs, that any one of those things is going to work that much better. For anybody that views this and would like to see it again, you know, this program will air again and again. And so that way there you'll be able to see it again, so that whatever information you didn't round off all, you can see it again. Or you can just come in, and we do have the videos also for sale. So you can come in and pick one up, or otherwise you can just come in and visit with us. We are at, you can go on our site at greershealth.com, or you can call us at 651-486-0525. Or you can like us on Facebook and give us a little insight as to what it is. Email us or like us on Facebook and let us know what you thought of the program and if we can help you further. Our number is 651-486-0525. Thank you so much. The Ant formula is another herbal formula that is that we talked about in this brand, and it's actually an adaptogen. It's also a gin restorative formula. Ant is regarded as a virtually miraculous formula substance in China. It is called the herb of kings. It is it's a powerful combination of the yin jing, building an adaptogenic herb, creating a powerful anti-aging tonic and rejuvenating formula. It also has powerful immune potential activity, and tonics are widely consumed in Asia to promote strength, sexual vigor, and as a powerful anti-aging. And I do want to say that the herbs are very good. It's a good alternative instead of doing testosterone shots or maybe those creams that are not as good. Ant Essence.